I do it for the love of the game.
Don't fucking look at me.
Jesus Christ, he's turned into Dennis Hopper from Blue Velvet.
Sean's mouthing off, about to get
One of the
first people to get one of the first people in history to get knocked out on a podcast.
I like Alemisio. Joel?
Who?
Joel, not as
I
much.
still haven't met him yet.
No, you.
You know, it's strange. I never see Alamnesio and Joel in the same place at the same time.
Yeah, never seen him either. Those glasses.
I never saw him and fucking Shia LaBeouf in the same place at the same time. What the fuck are you saying?
I'm saying Joel
Exactly.
Benner,
This isn't
Shia
a conspiracy
LaBeouf, and
theory
Alamnesio
podcast.
are the exact same
We've
person.
moved on.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit 'em with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Welcome to the Iconoblast Podcast. This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons to show you why you can never take anything at face value. My name is Cooper, and with me as always is Joel R. Benner, and today
What's
we
up?
are
Joel
joined
Benner, yeah.
not only
No R.
by Adam Hester from the Skeleton Factory Podcast, we are also joined by Sean Anchondo from the Conmen Podcast.
Hello.
What's up?
You know, it's weird that
Thanks for having me on.
the four of us have never been at a table before together. We've never done a show together before.
No.
Yes.
Joel's always the one that's missing because it's Alamnesio that sits in when Joel's not around, which once again is a little strange.
Yeah, dude, you would look like shit in a singlet.
Awful.
I wouldn't look good in one.
No. But it looks like you
It's
trimmed
not
your
a good look.
beard. You look good.
That's like the fifth time you said that. Do you want to fuck me? What's going on here?
Maybe.
Fuck me.
Well, let's do it. What do you?
Well, let's wait till these cameras turn off.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, then I guess we have to get this episode over and done with before Sean loses his boner. So, question for everybody here at the table. Who is your favorite John Wayne?
John Wayne.
Well, there's also John Wayne Gacy and John Wayne Bobbitt.
I like John Wayne Gacy, but I also have been confused about John Wayne and oh man,
I would say John Wayne.
Clint
my
Eastwood.
favorite John
Clint
Wayne.
Eastwood. There we go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, John
Get a
Wayne
fucking
and
heart
Clint
open.
Eastwood.
John Wayne and
are
Clint Eastwood are very similar.
very easy to mix up. I mean,
John
both,
Wayne and Clint Eastwood
both
are
races.
not similar.
No,
Clint Eastwood plays golf.
Their viewpoints might be a little bit more similar. Well, at least Clint Eastwood's viewpoints from Gran Torino. And,
That's not him.
Well, John Wayne's real life viewpoints are
Similar
similar to.
Well, he doesn't have any viewpoints
Gran
because he died of
Torino.
cancer.
So today
just falls asleep.
we've actually got a decent amount of pages to get through. I worked so hard to actually compress all of the insanely shitty stuff that John Wayne did into a single episode, because next week is actually going to be a Valentine's Day episode.
oh,
I didn't want to split John Wayne up into two parts and have John Wayne Part 1 Valentine's Day and then John Wayne Part 2. I want people to be able to, get a story from start to finish all in one sitting.
That's really nice of you.
So,
very romantic.
Yeah, appreciate that.
much like most people, I left out all the stuff about
It's Black
about the
History
gays.
Month.
Which, yeah, by the way, I was thinking
We don't care about that.
I was thinking about that too, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we should do Martin Luther King then and get Dan Holloway on the show.
There's a very strong chance that is going to be the final episode of the month. So I'm going to jump right into the information, and you guys just hop in, say what you got to say whenever you feel like saying something. For most people, when picturing the quintessential cowboy riding across the untamed American Wild West, one man in particular comes to mind.
True Grit.
He is known by many different names: Robert Marmaduke Hightower, Big Jake, Rooster Cogburn, True Grit.
Good old Rooster.
Oh, Cockburn.
Of course, I am talking about the legendary Marion Morrison, or John Wayne if you weren't a fan until he was mainstream. John Wayne was born Marion Robert Morrison on May 26,
Like Maid
1907. Exactly like Maid
Like
Marian.
Marion Barry and Jim Morrison.
Marion Monroe.
It's like if Jim Morrison smoked crack
Or, Marion Barry smoked crack like he did multiple
and
times.
then lit a hooker on fire.
Just like Marion Barry.
That would have been a better Doors movie.
Who's hotter, John Wayne or Maid Marian?
Made Marion?
Well,
yeah.
okay,
For which
but
one?
Which
Dude,
Kevin
we
Costner
have,
Maid Marian?
we have
I don't know. Brunettes with fucking curly hair.
we have had this
She wasn't as
debate
hot in
before.
in
Okay, so Maid Marian from Robin Hood Men in
Maybe it's-
Tights, Maid Marian from the Kevin Costner Robin Hood movie, or Maid Marian from the
Debbie
Disney
Does
Men
movies.
in Tights.
That's what I said.
Funnier.
It's one of those instances where you're like, I'm not into redheads. Yes, I am.
Yes, very much so.
It's the Disney one that's the hottest.
Yeah.
We've already been
Dave
through this
Chappelle's
one.
in that as well.
Yeah, well, it was his
Robin
first,
Hood Men in Tights.
it was like
And
his
the
first
original
movie,
Disney
right?
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original
And then he never did
animated
anything
Disney
else after
Robin Hood
that.
movie was Dave Chappelle's first film.
Yeah. Silver Streak was also a great movie by Dave Chappelle.
Silver Streak? Which one was that?
Silver Streak had Martin Lawrence in it.
I was gonna say that's a Martin Lawrence movie.
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of
Racist
Con Air.
bastard.
No,
No,
you're-
Dave
you're-
Chappelle was on there. He was
No, you're talking about
amazing
Big
on
Mama's
it.
house. John Wayne was born Mary and Robert Morrison on May 26, 1907 in
We're supposed to
Winterset, Iowa. Do we have to drink for that one?
I think we should.
Yeah, probably.
Why are we talking about black people?
May 26th.
3 days
Drink
after
it
my
now. We have
birthday.
to drink because what Sean just
Silver
did.
Streak, I mean, whatever.
That's coffee.
Why are we drinking?
because of Dave Chappelle and he's, I don't know, something racist.
You're driving home?
I'm driving to Kyle. That's like 20 minutes away.
No, his
You'll be
intention is to drive home.
That's
but
literally the same distance to everything else in Austin.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. But tomorrow, this is the
He'll
reason we did
be
the podcast
fine.
on Wednesday, because Thursday we're supposed
Is it Wednesday?
because on Wednesday nights you can't get drunk.
yeah, but it's supposed to freeze. There might be snow.
supposed to
maybe.
freeze.
It's already freezing.
Oh
You'll
no,
be driving in it soon.
I'm gonna die.
It was nice
you're-
knowing you.
You can sleep at my house.
Your wife is
No, I'm
about
not
to be a widow. John was larger than life from the day he was born. I've been waiting for that to happen all day.
It didn't happen. Conmen.
I am so glad that I don't have to take care
Give
of
it
these
a
mics
second,
or
you're
anything
gonna
like
smell
that.
it, too.
Oh no, I know I'm going to smell it. I'm just saying these aren't my microphones. Much like Adam's fart,
Smells like a rice
John
cooker.
was larger than life from the day he was born, and I mean that literally.
It smells like a fart, but with cum.
The scientific term is a cum fart.
Open butthole.
The average birth weight for boys is around 7 pounds, but the Duke himself, on the other hand, weighed a whopping 13 pounds.
Fuck yeah, that guy fucks.
The sound you just heard was all of the mothers listening to the show wincing in unison.
From Adam's ass.
Oh no, he would have strolled right out of there.
Yeah.
I imagine John's entrance into the world was similar to his entrances in later movies. His spurs chiming as he saunters down his mother's birth canal before kicking her labias open like an Old West saloon door. He then strolls over to lean against his mother's breasts and order a drink as he scans the room for trouble with his hand resting on the pistol at his hip. When John was around 9 years old, his family moved from Iowa to Glendale, California, where he would later attend high school. It was there that he gained the nickname Duke. Every day, John would walk to school with his Airedale Terrier, Big
with his
Duke,
pants filled with shit.
That's you, Adam.
and that's why they
called him the Duke.
Big Duke. Every day, John would walk to school with his Airedale Terrier, Big Duke, trailing along behind him. The route took him past a fire station where the firefighters soon began calling him Little Duke. He preferred Duke over the feminine-sounding Marion, and nobody was ballsy enough to tell him otherwise.
Maid Marian.
Right? Yeah, it was a girl's name. Like one of the toughest guys in film history was named after a fucking Robin Hood
A
character.
fox.
John went to college at the University of Southern California after being rejected by the U.S. Naval Academy due to poor grades. Surprise, surprise, John Wayne wasn't smart.
Yeah. He kicks some ass though.
Well, if you're gonna
For
be
pretend.
if you're gonna be dumb, you got to be tough.
For pretend he
Yeah.
could kick ass.
At USC, John played on the football team, which ultimately opened the door for his acting career. His coach, Howard Jones, gave Western silent film star Tom Mix free tickets to some USC games. In return, Mix talked director John Ford into hiring John as an extra. After working as an extra and playing a handful of bit parts, John got his first starring role in a film called The Big Trail, not to be confused with The Snail Trail. Aside from being John Wayne's first starring role, the film was notable for being one of the earliest wide-format films ever made, which is something that Quentin Tarantino is really into, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Two film guys on the show, and you guys don't have shit to say about one of the earliest wide-format
I don't wanna
films
talk
ever
about-
jerking them off with
film
their
formats.
feet.
Yeah. Film formats are boring to talk about.
Talking about film formats.
Skeleton
and
Factory podcast.
What?
Look
I'm
it up.
thinking, I'm thinking
Episode
about
21.
Think about the John Wayne Airport in Denver. You guys want to kind of get into that? Or are we going to
What
get into that
is
later
wrong
on?
with the John Wayne Airport in Denver?
Well, you know the whole...
Wait, there's a John Wayne airport somewhere else too, isn't there?
It's filled with Illuminati symbols.
Yeah, like you...
There's a fucking Bob Hope Airport.
But when you fly
you
into the...
saying?
When you fly into the John...
That's filled with slapstick comedy.
It's
Yeah.
wacky.
So there's like a swastika when you fly into the Denver airport. And then there's
sorry?
like all these weird like kind of Illuminati signals when you fly
Conmen
into
Podcast.
Like the runways are all in the shape of the
Conspiracies.
swastika.
Of
Yeah.
course, Sean is just on the show so he can plug his own fucking show.
Yeah, let's plug this before I get the fuck out of here. It's like I gotta drive home to Denver. Not Denver. Kyle, Texas, which is 20
Well,
minutes away.
You host a
What's your
conspiracy podcast. You don't want to give people
what's your address?
your
You
hometown.
guys want to hear my address?
Yeah.
no,
what's your-
we don't.
You guys want to
What's
come
your
hang
phone number
out
and your
in,
address?
in my backyard?
No, we want to
and
torture you for information.
What are your kids' names? What school they go to?
Yeah, what's the list of their fears?
We're all going to ultimately end up in your crawl space anyway.
Yeah.
The Big Trail was also the first of many films John would appear in that had trail in the title, including Desert Trail, Sagebrush Trail, Telegraph Trail, The Oregon Trail,
Oregon Trail. That's what I was gonna say.
The Lonely Trail, and The Trail Beyond.
And the Trail of the Dragon.
Not betrayal.
He would never betray anybody unless they were black. He did not like black people.
I could drink.
That'd be a great movie.
Well, I mean, we can drink for that.
we'll betray you as
It's
long
like
as you're
Under
not
Siege
black.
2,
Fucking
but at
true.
the end he just kills the black guy. I'm not saying that would be great. I'm just saying that'd be funny.
It would be funny.
I can still smell the trail of the dragon right now from fucking Adam's ass.
Yeah, I think whoever uses that mic next is going to be wrinkling their nose quite a bit. Well,
A whey protein isolate. That's what it smells.
sorry for the
And
mic
creatine
smell,
monohydrate,
Jiggle Boys.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, should I bleep out the fart?
No.
It's like beep.
Well, that's just going to make people think that every time Adam farts, it says a racial slur.
Well, it sounded like one.
This
to
make me jealous that I don't have Joel on my show.
Yeah, that
I
sucks.
know.
Yeah, no,
Well,
no,
at the
like-
very least, we got El Amnesio.
He's okay, but I kind of want Joel.
I have no one on my show except me.
I'll come on your show.
Well, that's all you need.
Can I come in and hang out in your closet?
If you want to, I invited him, but he won't. He won't.
He
go.
keeps it in the closet.
Let me
too.
know when the show is, and we'll.
Look, I sent you my list of demands. They weren't met. If you're going to actually give me a bowl full of just strictly purple M&Ms, which I know they don't make, but you can find somebody to make them, then I'm going to be on your fucking show. I'm on Iconoblast Podcast, motherfucker. You think I'm cheap? The Big Trail was a total failure and resulted in John not making another A-list film for 10 years. For many actors, this would have resulted in the end of their career, but for John, it was an opportunity for him to perfect his craft. And perfect it he did.
Do you take $2 bills?
No, he has two of those.
So that's
I
you-
was here earlier.
that's what I make in
pull it out
a
of
year.
the-
Let them bargain on their own.
You
No,
have
no,
two
no, no,
$2
no.
bills?
Yeah.
That's 2
That's a
years'
rare.
salary
It's
for me.
President
You got two
Jefferson. He has
rare.
like the best hair.
President Jefferson Davis, that is a $2 bill I've never seen before.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What
that
are
was
you
Sean
gonna buy
Anchondo.
slave
He's
wood?
going home now.
Northern money? Get with it. Okay, I made everyone leave the room. That's fine. Good. This is probably a good thing.
Okay, now we can really start talking about some shit.
All right. Okay, start from the beginning. It's fine.
Yeah, now that
Okay.
Sean left, we should probably start.
Going
over.
back to page
the
one.
Iconoblast podcast.
Welcome to the Iconoblast Podcast.
Song kicks back in and everything.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit 'em with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Once his acting career was back in full swing, John Wayne became one of the most beloved actors of all time. His list of accolades includes 3 Academy Awards, 2 Golden Globes, and the 2 highest honors available to civilians, the Congressional Gold Medal and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He was also on the top 10 box office stars list for 25 years, and he was the first actor to posthumously appear on the Harris Poll for favorite actors. And he stayed there for 10 years after he was dead.
Wow.
And he's still in the top 10 as far as I know. was
That'll last 10 years.
that was a direct quote from True Grit.
True rip.
That was from inside the actor's studio.
John Wayne was so well known and influential during his lifetime that when Emperor Hirohito visited America for the first time in 1975, one of his requests was to meet this legendary actor. Hirohito saw John Wayne as the physical embodiment of the United States and its ideals. The emperor wanted to look into the eyes of the man who represented the country that the cunt that defeated him in World War II.
That's the most fucking ridiculous shit. That'd be like if George W. Bush went to China and was like, I want to meet fucking Jackie Chan. He'll be like, what a fucking idiot.
Those wily fucking Chinese, I want to meet these guys that are beating us in the economy.
He's like jumping around, doing tricks and shit.
Now watch this golf swing.
This dude comes to America, he's like, oh no, John Wayne. He doesn't want to meet Elvis? I guess that was before the comeback, the 77 comeback.
Yeah, that would have been before.
John Wayne was bigger than Elvis?
Well, yeah.
Must have been.
Well,
John Wayne was the biggest
at the time,
I think he was
definitely
filling
Man.
a space while Elvis was away.
While Elvis was away banging a bunch of
Getting
little
ready
girls,
to do his fucking comeback.
Yeah.
which by comeback you mean coming on the back of a bunch of little girls.
Fuck yeah.
Hey man, that's
Good
why
for
he's
you.
king.
Elvis
of
Presley
coming on
was a
people.
fucking pedophile. That's a future
Was he
episode
really?
that we're gonna do. He was a full blown fucking pedophile.
I
He was
do not endorse the
Wait, was
sentiments
he,
of the
was he banging
Iconoblast
16-year-olds or was
the
he banging
Iconoblast
14-year-olds?
podcast wholeheartedly endorses the statement Elvis Presley was a fucking pedophile.
Okay.
Because he would
Look, he
would
was in
have
the
a bunch
army.
of-
You were in the army. I don't. You know what I mean?
Okay, but when I was in the army, I was banging full-grown dudes, not little dudes. That's part of being in the military.
It is. Hey, that's cool. I guess.
Look,
they don't show you that in the commercials.
Yeah.
Oh no, oh
This
no!
isn't the NFL
if they did, it's gonna.
commercials.
Army, an army.
You
of
like playing
one,
video
but
games?
It's army of cum.
An army of one man banging a bunch of boys.
I mean, if you say Elvis is a pedophile, I'll believe it, but I'll still go to Graceland one day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd still go to
He makes
Graceland
great
too.
music
But
too.
while I'm at Graceland, I would be thinking like, oh wow, how many 14-year-olds were
Raped
fucked
to the
here?
song?
Yeah.
It makes it dark. First off.
Oh, for sure.
But,
Oh, also, by the
Look,
way,
when I was 12, if Cindy Crawford was like, "I'll suck your dick right now," I'd be like, "Please."
yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God, this is everything I ever wanted. Is that
True.
rape?
I mean that
Is that rape? Cindy Crawford is a piece of shit. Fuck her.
by definition.
That bitch wasn't in the
Well,
army.
it would make
She
her a
was serving
pedophile,
fucking-
but
You
it
see
wouldn't
that
be rape.
hypocrisy?
By
You see the double standard?
definition, but oh no, I absolutely agree. By definition, it is still rape, but you're not going to see a bunch of
I would let her penetrate me.
Legally.
Oh yeah.
12-year-old me.
legal. Well, I mean,
But
also
you're
by
penetrating
I mean
them.
statutory rape. By definition, it fits,
Penetrating you would
it
be your
fits
butthole.
statutory rape.
Yeah, if I was 12, 13, and Cindy Crawford was like,
Well,
I
unless
want to
you're in
finger your
France,
ass,
right?
I'd be like,
If you fuck Cindy Crawford in France, it'd be fine.
Would I
It
be
also
raped by
depends-
Cindy
depends on
Crawford?
what year.
Yes. And yes.
I'm not fucking anybody in France.
I've discussed it on the
unless
show
it's the
before.
What if
Erwin
it's Cindy
Erter
Crawford?
Moomins.
When I was at a very young age, I sent a letter to the Cindy Crawford fan club, and I got a signed picture.
Oh
in
yeah, I've
return
got my
because
guys on that.
She would, oh shit!
I think
Cindy Crawford's still hot.
not this
Oh,
episode,
absolutely.
but
I don't think
soon.
she's
Cindy
ever
Crawford
gonna
had a
stop being
dick.
hot.
I'd be into that dick. You know?
Dude, Cindy Crawford is gonna age like
Your letter's in the
like
mail.
Sofia
It's being
Vergara.
sent to me.
Really, you actually found it?
Yeah, I found it. It's coming.
You went back
Found
to
your
my
letter.
bulldozed and burnt down family
No,
home
no,
that I
you
grew
sent
up
it.
in?
I had to get it. I had to get it from her. She still had it.
I can't believe you were able to get hold of her.
Well,
because
I don't
had to-
have it yet.
I had to go through a lot of trouble to even find the address to send it to. This was pre-internet when I sent that letter.
Yeah.
Like I actually had to find the address to the fan club like in a magazine or some shit like that.
Sent a letter to Cindy Crawford.
I sent a letter to Brett the Hitman Hart when I was in 4th grade.
Fuck yeah.
You also sent a bunch
What
of
about Cindy Crawford in Thailand?
sent a bunch of threatening letters to Jodie Foster and
There's a
then
different
shot
Cindy
Ronald
Crawford in
Reagan.
Thailand?
Yeah, like a lady boy.
Oh,
Kind of
that's so funny to me.
Cindy Crawford.
John,
4th grade me. Because I was in 4th grade the same year Silence of the Lambs came out, so that makes it even funnier to me that I was like threatening her.
Oh no, it's even further back. I'm talking about like Taxi Driver era.
Oh my God. I don't think I was
No,
born when
the guy who shot Ronald Reagan was stalking Jodie Foster, and the reason that he shot Ronald Reagan was because he thought that was going to make Jodie Foster fall in love with him.
Yeah, and that started the band JFA, Jodie Foster Army. it was a
Wait,
hardcore.
what's the name of the
punk band in
guy?
the 80s.
That's
I think it's John Hinckley Jr.
yes,
They're always juniors for some reason.
but that has to do.
Junior.
Junior Hinckley Jr.
You were just talking about
Wait.
there was a Thai Cindy Crawford.
No, would you bang a ladyboy from Thailand?
No.
That if it was
I thought you said
Cindy
it was
Crawford.
a Cindy Crawford.
if Cindy Crawford was a ladyboy, would you?
Cindy Crawford has a vagina.
Are you sure about
You know how I know that? Because she has a hot daughter.
Case
that?
closed.
But John Hinckley Jr. had to do with the MK Ultra. Maybe if you want to talk about Conmen Podcast.
Does he have a vagina?
So yeah,
Actually, wait, was he associated with MK Ultra?
Yeah,
it
with
wouldn't surprise me. He was fucking insane.
yeah. John Hinckley Jr. shot Reagan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was.
Well, he shot Reagan once and then shot and paralyzed one of his Secret Service.
Yeah, so he
agents.
was associated with the MK Ultra project. So we talked about that a couple weeks ago, but it was
That really doesn't surprise me because when John Hinckley Jr. fell in love with Jodie Foster, it was the 14-year-old Jodie Foster playing a prostitute in Taxi Driver.
yeah.
Did you fuck a Thai boy and call him Cindy Crawford? What's going on?
No,
here?
no.
Oh, you can call him
If
anything
I
you
found
want as long
out
as you pay
that
for
a
it.
prostitute had a dick, I would be like, I'm not fucking with that.
I'm not
It kind of
sucking
sounds like
that.
you are.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you already have.
And that's fine.
Sounds like learning from experience.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
I mean it's fun.
I mean, if I'm attracted to him, I just
Theoretically.
make him hold it.
Yeah.
Make him hold it.
It's
I don't
for
want to
fun.
see it.
It's for fun.
I don't want to see it, but I'd do it. Fuck it.
Yeah, don't show me the dick. If I
Compare
see the dick, I don't want to
sizes.
see the dick. We're fine. We gotta stop them talking about me looking at dicks.
Well, you got to
So
stop.
how many
you gotta
Thai
stop
boys
talking
have
about
you
yourself.
fucked?
Looking
Never.
at dicks.
I've never. The
Have you
only
been to
countries
Thailand?
I've been to Canada and I've been to Mexico.
And how many boys did you fuck?
None.
Okay.
How many donkey shows did you go to?
So
You know what?
That is-
That's only in California.
No, that's a Canadian staple. Do
They
they have
fuck-
those in Mexico too?
And Mexico's
I
big.
suggest you
Oh,
buy
shit.
Ventura
In
lives.
TJ, in Tijuana, it was big over there. But in like Texas, like Juarez, it wasn't that big. But they
That's what she said.
The
Yeah.
donkey's dick wasn't that big.
maybe I don't know. It's weird over there. There's a lot of like there's like a street over there where they would mess around with a lot of transgenders, but they're fine with that. So I never did.
In Mexico or Thailand?
You fucked
No,
a
that
tranny?
sound-
No, I never
So
did.
you
Sounds
fucked
like
a
my
Thai
old
boy and a
neighborhood in
tranny. That's pretty
Francisco.
cool, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
That'll be a thing eventually.
It's very inclusive. This is a very inclusive.
Bestiality will
Oh, yeah.
We don't
eventually
kink shame
become
around here.
legal in United States.
While John Wayne represented many of the best qualities of the United States, such as bravery, strength, and self-sufficiency, he also embodied the darker side of the country. Al Jolson joke, Adam? You got one?
You believe this guy?
Justin Trudeau joke, maybe?
Justin Trudeau?
Prime Minister of Canada, very well known for doing blackface.
There's nothing to indicate that Canada's a real country, bro. It's like Atlantis.
Canada doesn't exist. I'm just going to take it back one more time for the listeners at home. While John Wayne represented many of the best qualities of the United States, such as bravery, strength, and self-sufficiency, he also embodied the darker side of the country. Insert blackface joke, like we did twice already. This is the real reason we are talking about him in this episode. To put it simply, John Wayne was a drunk, a racist, and a womanizer.
I like this guy.
He was also a homophobe, but the episode was getting so long, I just had to leave those parts out, but I'll paraphrase him as we go along.
Like this guy rules.
John's co-stars and film crews knew one very important thing about working with the legendary actor. His scenes needed to be finished by noon because after that, he would be absolutely shit-faced. According to the people that worked with him, John would drink throughout the day and be drunk by afternoon, and he was a mean fucking drunk. He would get drunk and angry and just be impossible to work with once he got hammered, which I can understand.
I can't.
Fuck this show, I'm out of here. Throughout the course of his life, John had rocky relationships with women. He cheated on his first wife, Josephine Sines, with both Merle Oberon and Marlene Dietrich, which it's funny, in some later interviews, somebody asked him what the best sex of his life was, and he said it was something along the lines of Marlene Dietrich on a staircase at some like
Sidney
famous
Poitier.
hotel. Sidney Poitier in the backseat of my VW Bug.
Marlene.
Merle Oberon.
That's a woman?
I'm assuming so, because he definitely had very
According to Wikipedia.
the fucking liberal Wikipedia.
Yeah.
What's the girl's name? What's the chick's
allegedly-
name from Aviator?
That
Originally,
was
Elliot Page
character
was in
name.
Juno.
Oh shit!
Kate Blanchett's
Marlene
character.
Dietrich.
That was
She's okay.
They'll edit that. It's fine.
no. I know who you're talking about. She was with.
In my mind, that's what
she
I'm
was with
picturing.
Howard Hughes. That's not Marlene Dietrich. That was
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett. Looks amazing for her age. Shit, who was it? The character that Kate Blanchett played in The Aviator.
Come in with the milk. Come in with the milk. Come in with the milk.
Vagina?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Kate Blanchett had a vagina
She had
at that
no,
point.
there
That
was no other
post-op.
motivation for her to be there other than some sort of sexual gratification for 20-year-old guys who can fly planes and thought they were heroes.
Yeah, Howard Hughes. Well,
Yeah.
and you're forgetting people who
Are we talking
stored
about the
jars of
Aviator or
piss.
Pearl Harbor?
Aviator.
Either one, but yeah, Aviator.
Didn't Howard Hughes fucking
Spruce Goose, dude.
yeah, didn't he? Isn't he the one who fucking like made sure that fucking hemp paper never got fucking made?
No, that was William Randolph Hearst.
Same guy.
Because he was a newspaper magnate and he had a bunch of not magnate, but he was very heavily invested in paper companies because newspaper, and hemp was a much cheaper source of paper than anything else. But since he wasn't invested in that, he helped fund the whole reefer madness craze that ultimately got marijuana outlawed.
That'd
True
be great.
story.
That'd be like if the
No joke, true
Dogecoin's
story.
guy made a fucking horror movie about Bitcoin or Ethereum.
Yeah.
If you invest in this, rape monsters will eat your children.
Oh man, Reefer Madness. That Reefer Madness would be something good for Skeleton Factory because it is one of the most ridiculous fucking propaganda films I've ever seen in my life.
It's true. I never smoked weed and played piano furiously and fast like I was Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, those jazz cigarettes.
And
would
then
make you in the
jumped
last
out a
chill
window.
room. So he was married to Josephine Sines and cheated on her with Merle Oberon and Marlene Dietrich. I'm still trying to think of the name of the actress that Kate Blanchett was playing in.
I'll look it up.
Okay. In 1941, he began an affair with a woman named Esperanza Bauer, who he met
maid.
while filming in Mexico. You're actually fairly close overall because Esperanza was a former prostitute and the daughter of a local brothel owner.
How is that equivalent to a maid? You a racist?
Drink.
Bunch
Is
of
it? Okay, yeah, we should
cracker
probably drink
white,
for that. No,
white
what
bitches who are loose and fucking.
what I'm saying is it wasn't.
Why is it
like
gotta
a-
be Mexican people?
Catherine
Well, no,
Hepburn.
Catherine Hepburn? That's who it was.
I'm Mexican.
Esperanza. So,
Uh,
did I make that up? Did I just?
Esperanza Bauer. That
There you
was,
go.
that was who he-
Esperanza Bauer. That name
It's
alone.
German
has,
and Mexican.
one of the ancestors
How
of
do you think
Jack
that
Bauer
happened?
from 24.
I don't know. They trying to create the perfect person.
But Esperanza was a really
Is
interesting.
that racist? I don't think so.
This is what I've done with my life.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
What have I
can't say the
become?
things that you were saying because I am not part of that ethnicity.
Yes. I'm German and Mexican, so I can say racist stuff. And
Holy shit, that is two fucking opposite ends of the spectrum.
They're,
Didn't Nazis go to like South America to hide out from
it's Argentina.
Argentina, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
same
think
thing.
they
Yeah,
also
it's
tried to.
all South
so
America's
don't,
Mexico.
don't quote me on it, but I think they also tried to form
Soccer's
some sort
the
of
national
alliance
sport,
with Mexico
right?
to make it easier to invade America.
Yeah.
Cut that part
They
out.
had a plan.
According
Didn't
to,
work.
according to the Peruvians, Mexico is the butthole of South America.
That's not true.
The
Go
Peru
to fucking
grows some very nice
go to
asparagus as well.
yeah.
The Nazis
Go to
not only
Ar-
had a plan, they had a solution.
They had a
Go to
master
South
plan.
Mexico.
They had a final
Master
solution.
plan with the final solution.
They all hate each other.
Okay, everybody
go
has to drink
go
for
to
that
South
one.
America and every country hates each other. That's a
They
fact.
do hate each
Go
other.
to any
They even
country,
hate
and every
themselves.
country hates each
Yeah.
other.
Mexico's like, we hate ourselves, but we definitely hate everyone that's South America. South of us.
I mean, people in different parts of Mexico hate each other because the further south you go, the more Spanish it becomes.
The more white you become.
the lighter skinned it becomes.
Yeah. Look at how German they look. It's weird, right?
I'm a
and then
big
you
Canelo Alvarez fan.
keep,
Yeah.
keep going further
That
south,
guy's
and you hit
awesome.
Argentina, and then it's
Look at
just
his
filled with
blue
Nazis.
eyes.
He has red hair.
Yeah.
So by all accounts,
cool.
Esperanza was fuck ugly and drank even more than John did. She was also apparently amazing in bed, so obviously John got a divorce and married her.
How big was this hog, though? Did you research that?
John's, I really, really tried to find an
How does he
answer
walk?
that.
Look how he walks.
Well, actually, he got, so true story, the entire persona that he has in his movies was actually taken, no joke, was taken from Wyatt Earp, because Tom Mix, the guy who got him into the film industry, Tom Mix and John Ford, Wyatt Earp used to actually be an advisor on the old silent Western films, and John Wayne got to meet Wyatt Earp and liked his mannerisms, liked the way that he talked, liked the way that he walked. Just
Like the way
started
that he
impersonating him.
But
Definitely liked the way that he fucked.
Let me see that hog. That's
Also,
what he's gonna say.
at,
Let me
at-
see that dick.
at the end of Tombstone, they say that when Wyatt Earp died, old was it Western film actors that were there? One of them was Tom Mix, and Tom Mix wept.
Really?
That's at the end of Tombstone.
I don't remember that being at the end of Tombstone, but that's. I know it's true that Tom Mix and Wyatt Earp had a very close friendship, which little
Well, you
fruity
got
if you ask me, but
you got to think of what's his name? What's that Russian guy?
your hypocrisy.
Fedor Emelianenko.
Joseph Stalin,
No, the
His
guy
brother's cool.
that
Vladimir
that,
Lenin,
No, the guy before them.
John Lennon.
What is the name of the guy?
Ringo
that
Starr.
that completely destroyed the
Fedor Emelianenko.
No, the guy that
Last
like,
Emperor.
had magic. What the fuck is that? His name?
Oh, Rasputin.
Rasputin. So Rasputin,
David Copperfield.
Magic Johnson.
Rasputin has a huge dick.
Chris Angel.
So did
Just gonna say Chris
Wyatt
Angel.
Earp. Like they all had big dicks, right?
Rasputin definitely had a massive hog.
Like
because
you,
he
that's,
kept it in a jar,
You
right?
can actually find.
no, that's so not true. The pictures that you've seen of the supposed Rasputin cock that's preserved in a jar.
yeah.
Why do you know this?
That's not actually Rasputin's cock. That
But
is-
they made it
that-
bigger, right?
No, it is literally a donkey's
cock.
dick. No, it's a donkey dick.
That's what they say.
Is that real?
It's a
As
conspiracy.
far as I know,
So
the
you
whole
can
thing.
stretch it, right? You can just stretch his dick out as much as you want.
I could stretch my dick out.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Rasputin's dick. It's a huge dick.
Did you see that? What was the Rasputin movie
Rasputin's
where
dick
Alan
is the phallic
Rickman is
version of
Rasputin?
Stretch Armstrong.
Like it's taffy.
Have you ever seen
Is he Jewish?
Have you ever seen the penis yoga? People
No.
who like they.
The penis puppetry people?
No, I've seen the penis puppetry.
That was on
yeah.
HBO, people.
Oh yeah, I remember
that was
They-
on
real sex?
regular. That was back when HBO was
They
great.
made the Loch Ness monster. They made a
is
hamburger.
real sex,
they made
right?
a hot dog.
No, it was called Penis Puppetry. It was a HBO special. Like the Iceman, fucking. That's back when
The Iceman?
Chuck Liddell was there.
Yes, Chuck Liddell was there. They did.
They used his
They
penis?
called a thing called the wristwatch. They did a move called the wristwatch where you take your dick and you put it over your wrist, and you're like, "Hey, what time is it?" That's a true thing. And then,
And then
they
they
would
look
take
at
their
your
dick
dick
and they put it in between their balls, right? If you can picture that, and then squeeze them all together and turn them sideways, and they're like, "Look, it's called
It's
the
a
hamburger."
hamburger.
Yes.
I've seen it. They also
I
have the
think you
Loch
saw
Ness
that when
monster.
we used to live together. Actually,
I'm pretty sure I did because the majority of the fucked up videos that I've seen in my life were while you and I were living together.
yeah, but a 22-year-old.
But I
Adam.
appreciate that.
Penis puppetry. It's a real thing.
So speaking of Esperanza Bauer,
Esperanza.
which she actually is a really interesting
She's
character
amazing.
because she was extremely angry and violent. She was a raging alcoholic. She was a former prostitute.
Sounds like my grandma.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I was going to say it sounds like my mom.
Sounds like my tita.
So, former prostitute, daughter of a brothel owner, extremely paranoid, constantly accused John Wayne of cheating on her.
Because he
Which,
was.
of course, he
Sounds
was
like
the
But
Carlos
is
entire
she
time.
hot though? I want to know if she's hot. Does
So-
she has better nipples than
No, the weird thing is,
Onision?
Dionisio?
The weird
which
thing
is
is-
the size of fucking pennies.
by all accounts,
Smaller, they're
Esperanza
dimes.
Bauer, Esperanza Bauer was fucking hideous.
With the
People
nipples
called her,
look like-
what was it? I think they called her pig nose. She had horrible skin.
Well, that's not fun.
She looked
She
like
must-
H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
She had some Cleopatra power then.
But maybe she was like where they didn't
Actually,
have a term
that's-
for butterface back
Well,
then.
well, explain her pubes. What do they look like?
Do you know Buckwheat from the Little Rascals?
Oh no!
Imagine Buckwheat in a leg lock.
Oh, that's not
and that's
fun.
probably what it looks like. But she was, by all accounts, you can find pictures of her, and she's not
Ever pubes?
totally well. Not that I was able to
Pubes
find.
are cool.
Pubes are
No, I'm fine
fine,
with them.
but you can't have too many of them.
Why not?
Oh no, you
What's the
you
correct
can.
number?
Speaking from experience,
There's a
I
correct
have
number of
too many them.
pubes where it can't
Per
go
capita?
in the taint.
What is the specific number?
No,
No pubes in the taint, huh?
I like a little bit of pubes, but not too much. You know what I mean?
On yourself or on other people?
No, on other people. I'm fine. Like don't.
You'd have full bush. You don't
Yeah,
give a
few
fuck.
bush for men is fine, but for the woman,
That is very sexist.
I don't care.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, Esperanza Bauer was
I wish I could grow pubes.
an unattractive woman. You'll get there one day. You just got to get a little bit older.
You're
Thanks.
doing
The crazy thing is, you'll be like one of the first people in history whose pubes grow already gray.
just one cube.
That's cool.
That's pretty
That's,
cool.
that's like a sequel to 40-Year-Old Virgin.
40-year-old puberty.
Yeah. Like you've already fucked, but you just have no pubes. And you lie to people, you're like, I shave.
I shave all the time, man.
Definitely has not fucked.
How do you get them to grow? How do you get those grays to grow?
Asking for a friend.
You get scared and they grow.
Like Ash from Evil Dead 2? I need to open a portal to hell to get my gray pubic hair to grow.
That's good. I like that. I like that.
So anyway, long story short, Esperanza Bauer was ugly, and she had bad skin, and she was an alcoholic, and she tried to kill John Wayne once. John
Did you try to
and-
kill him?
Oh yeah, she totally did.
Cool.
So he divorced Josephine, and eventually married Esperanza. But
Wait,
then,
Joseph, was that the Indian guy?
No, that was Chief Joseph. That was the previous episode about
Yeah.
lots.
I've been drunk since.
And also about
Fight No More Forever guy.
yeah, about 100 years difference between the two of them.
Same thing.
They're right next to each other.
Yeah,
Same
as,
shit,
as time
different
goes
day.
on, it's fine.
So John Wayne eventually cheated on Esperanza too. So she did what any crazy alcoholic former prostitute would do. She tried to shoot him as he walked through the front door of their home.
Nice.
Literally tried to shoot him while he was walking through the front door and missed because she was so fucking drunk that she couldn't shoot straight.
I'm sure there's another reason.
I hope she was like sitting in like a recliner that she moved to the front.
Directly in front
Yeah,
of the
just
door.
laying there drinking a bottle and just waiting.
And she's
for
got
him.
a lamp right next to her that she has turned off, and then as soon as he walks through the door, she turns on the light.
She
And she's
takes
like,
a bite out of an apple.
Yeah.
Well.
just to show that she's an asshole. John and Esperanza got a divorce in 1954 due to infidelity,
Infidelity.
but not John's infidelity. He kicked the drunken harpy to the curb after he found out she was cheating on him with Nikki Hilton, and that's not Paris Hilton's sister. This is
Yes, it
actually
is.
one of the. Well, it is technically Paris Hilton's sister, but this was one of the early Nikki Hiltons, also part of the same hotel
Bloodline?
chain. Yeah,
Same
same
bloodline.
bloodline.
So in a way, it was her.
Close enough. It was Paris Hilton's sister. If Paris Hilton's sister
Was her grandma.
Well, no, was her like great
Nikki
great
Hilton Jr.
granduncle.
Junior.
Yeah, there you go. Nikki Hilton was named after the Nikki Hilton that Esperanza Bauer cheated on John Wayne with.
Sick.
About
Oh,
Jack
boy.
Bauer.
So in a way, he fucked her.
Jack Bauer is a second or third cousin twice removed.
So he
that-
fucked her twice removed. Copy.
Close enough. That I mean, figuring out like
love
what your
season
relation
one
to
of
cousins are is
24,
very
by the way.
difficult.
It's like my favorite 24 hours of television.
So John Wayne kicked Esperanza to the curb for cheating on him with Nikki Hilton, who was the heir to the family behind the Hilton Hotels. In John's mind, cheating is only allowed if you've got a wiener. Because he was cheating on her the whole time, and she was constantly accusing him of cheating. But he wasn't upset about anything until he found out that he was cheating, or she was cheating on him.
She was doing the same
It's
thing.
like, oh, you fucking bitch. And then divorced her. But that was most likely
Extremely
because he wanted to go on to a woman named Pilar Pallet, or I think that's how it's pronounced. Because he
Pilar?
married her on pretty much the same
That's the
fucking
maid's
Hot
name in
name.
Big Lebowski. That's
Is it?
Yeah.
Pilar?
Pilar.
Okay, so I'm impressed that I'm
Pilar?
actually pronouncing that right.
I'm Walter
Pilar?
Sobchak. This is my associate Jeffrey Lebowski. We're here to talk about. We're here to talk about little Larry. Remember that?
What is Pilar? The fuck name is that?
Like a potato peeler.
Yeah,
It's Pillar
That's
with
how it seems.
one less L.
Pilar.
The same day that he divorced
PP.
Esperanza, John married Pilar Pallet while continuing an affair with Maureen O'Hara. John and Pilar remained married until 1973, after which time John settled for banging his secretary until his eventual death. As an actor who acted in numerous westerns, that was a little bit of alliteration that I wasn't planning on because I didn't get a chance to actually read through these notes more than once.
PP.
As an actor who acted in numerous westerns, John Wayne worked closely with many Native Americans who often played a large, if subordinate, role in his films. You may think this helped him develop an appreciation for their culture and struggles, and you would be sorely mistaken. This is where we're getting into another part of why John Wayne was
Another
a
reason why
piece
he's
of shit.
naughty. John Wayne's naughty.
When asked if he felt any empathy for Native Americans, John Wayne said, and I quote, "I don't feel we did any wrong in taking this great country away from them." I can't do a John Wayne quote.
That
I'm just
sounded
going
just
to...
like him.
Pilgrims.
Well, pilgrims, I don't feel we did any wrong in taking this great country away from them, if that's what you're asking.
That's
Our,
good.
our so-called stealing of this country from them was just a matter of survival. There were great numbers of people who needed new land, and the Indians were selfishly trying to keep it to themselves.
There you go. That's a good impersonation.
No comment.
Lord.
I'm part of it.
Okay, just the no comment
old
thing
John
I
Wayne.
think we probably need to drink for.
Drink.
I'm all out of coffee and hams.
I'm all out of coffee, hams, and fucks to give.
Take that.
Why do I gotta drink that? That's old coffee.
Well, that's coffee. That's also not alcohol.
Americano. Are you American?
Motherfucker, I offered you my freshly brewed coffee, and you're gonna give me this piss water?
And then accuse him of not being an American.
You're right.
Just because I'm a disgusting racist doesn't mean I want to drink your old Americano.
Having been raised in an era with less than stellar ideas on race relations, it's not surprising to hear that John had a negative view on minorities. Surprise, surprise. There are many instances of him making racist remarks, such as
Well,
when
he
he
didn't
told...
talk shit about the Indians. He just said, "Yeah, it's our place now."
Did you live back then? You don't know how.
Oh, no, I
these
didn't.
people-
I'm only...
You don't know the white man struggle, bro.
It was a little different back then.
I am living the white man's struggle
Yeah.
right now.
You don't know how these savages are. Just look at fucking
I did not say that.
Redskins.
I didn't say that.
I
either.
didn't say
Drink.
that.
No, I'm gonna say this right now.
I'm gonna
The
drink.
Washington Redskins went to the Washington Commanders. They should have just went double down and just said, "We're the Washington Savages," right? Am I
Drinking
right?
again.
Am I wrong?
Drinking again.
I don't want-
Oh, we're drinking again.
We're
I don't watch basketball.
Having been raised in an era with less than stellar ideas on race relations, it's not surprising to hear that John has a negative view on minorities. There are many instances of him making racist remarks, such as when he told legendary actor Roscoe Lee Brown that, quote, "You're the first N-word I've met with a sense of humor."
Now, did he use
I
a?
like this guy. He sounds
Did he
like
use
he's
a-
funny.
Did he use
He's
a hard?
being funny.
Did he use a hard R or a?
It's actually written in the notes here.
Okay.
John obviously didn't say N-word. He used the full word with a hard R.
Okay,
But he's being funny. Let him be funny.
that's funny to you.
It's funny to me. Yes.
Okay,
Let him be funny.
to each their own, I guess.
I mean, if he was born today, he'd be fun. He'd be different.
Multiple instances of John Wayne's racial views can be found in his 1971 interview with Playboy magazine. For example, in one quote from the interview, he specifically espouses his belief in white supremacy, saying, quote, "I believe in white supremacy until the blacks are educated to a point of responsibility. I don't believe in giving authority and positions of leadership and judgment to irresponsible people." When asked who was equipped to judge who was responsible, John replied, quote, "The academic community has developed certain tests that can determine whether the blacks are sufficiently equipped scholastically."
No comment.
No
I'm
comments?
just gonna drink
Nobody?
for John.
Skills Factory podcast.
Well, he's just having a good time. You know?
I wouldn't say he's having a good time. I'm saying he's a man of his time who has an opinion of his time.
I mean, I would agree with the fact that he's
That's
a
good, safe,
Yeah, he's a
very safe opinion.
It's
You
a
made
hard
it
save.
through. Yeah.
It really is a hard save. You're just like
It's hard being Portuguese nowadays.
He's saying the hard. He's saying the hard R's. Like I don't know.
No, I don't.
I want to be on his side, but he can't.
I think like pre-1980 there was nothing but hard R's.
Yeah. They're just
In the
having
white
a good
community.
time. You know?
In
1980.
They're just having a
any
good time.
community. John Wayne also denied that there were any restrictions on schooling for minorities, saying, quote, "I don't know why people insist that blacks have been forbidden their rights to go to school. They were allowed in public schools wherever I've been." Which, public schools, yes. Integrated public schools, no.
So John Wayne is hilarious, right?
I mean, he was
Is he trying to be
he was
funny?
like a rich actor at a time during like integration. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's just like,
Oh, no, not at all.
schools
I
are
think
integrated,
it's fine.
right? I
That's-
don't know. He's like, I live in a mansion, and I fuck my mistress's maid.
So,
He's like, where the fuck do I know?
so John Wayne came on the show and they're like, well,
That's what I say. Don't
he's
ask
trying to be funny
actors
right
or
now.
famous people about things that are important because they don't know shit. If I had,
I don't think he was trying to
if
be
I had
funny.
millions of
I think
fucking
he just
dollars
didn't
and
know
lived in a
better.
mansion, don't ask me about anything.
So
Yeah,
so
unless
Joel's
I'm
right.
getting my dick sucked by anybody who will take a fucking stack
Yeah.
of $2 bills.
So Joel's right. So like,
Like-
what he-
like,
what
I don't-
Joel-
you got your dick
what
sucked.
Joel's
I don't know
saying-
shit now.
So what Joel's
You
saying
think I'm gonna know
is
shit with a couple $1 million?
he doesn't think he's trying to be funny. He just doesn't know better. But to me, I think he's being funny, but he
Well,
doesn't realize he's funny.
That's attributing some sort of level of fucking like education and knowledge to being rich, and it's like, have you fucking watched The View?
Yeah, I think that what it is it's ultimately...
He was a fucking idiot.
He's a fucking idiot who happened to be paid a lot of money to fucking play a
He's
certain fucking role.
ridiculous.
Like, don't listen to fucking famous people for any fucking advice at all.
Stop.
Oh, yeah, I think that's-
stop.
Listen to
Yeah.
a bitter, poor asshole who's worked his whole fucking life.
Yes, that is-
that's who you
exactly.
listen
That is
to.
the number one lesson is don't listen to people that are living in these fucking gilded houses because they're so out of touch with the common person. They're not going to know what the average person's struggle is. And second of all, the further back you go in time, pretty much doesn't matter who the fuck it is. They're going to be racist in some way.
Also, of
Yeah.
course, he's fucking cheating on his fucking whoever the fuck he's with. It's like he's a rich guy who can fuck anybody. Do you think the people he's fucking are rich people? No,
Yeah,
they're people who are like,
Esperanza Power
I'm fucking a
definitely
rich
wasn't.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like people from the outside of it 50 years after the fact are like, that a horrible sexist adulterer. It's like, no, he was fucking willing women who are fucking John Wayne at a time where there's no fucking internet.
Yeah.
It's like people who will fucking watch old footage of the Beatles or Elvis,
Just-
and there's screaming fans of
just
fucking
look at that
prepubescent
dick
girls
right there.
who would probably fuck Elvis immediately, and it would probably technically not be considered fucking rape because it's at a time where it's like you don't live in that time.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Jesus.
That's a continuous problem that I've run into on this show is. So I mean, one of the like core concepts of the show when we first started it was talking shit about famous icons throughout history.
Yeah, but you can't set them to the modern standards.
Exactly. You can't compare them to modern standards, because if you go back to the era that they were living in, the things that they were saying and doing, most of the time were condoned by the general public.
Celebrity lasts
But there were still
only
people
so
in
long.
that time that were against that behavior too.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a small fringe group of people that would be against those ideals that ultimately turned into the ideals that we have nowadays.
Look at Robert De Niro. If you look at like the 70s Robert De Niro and fucking 2020s Robert De Niro, like you might have fucking opposing ideas of who that person fucking is.
I mean,
it's
separating
the art from the fucking artist, which is fucking corny as fuck. But it's like when fucking the artist says shit that they have like from their point of view as a person and not a character, then shit gets muddy. But who gives a fuck what they have to say? I don't give a fuck what Robert De Niro has to fucking say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking
Because
my
I don't
life
pay
lessons
to
from
hear what
actors.
Robert De Niro has to fucking say. The only time I pay money for him, for me to fucking hear what he has to say, is when he's fucking
Before he
reading
kills somebody.
lines on camera. That's the only time it fucking matters.
Yeah, I mean, over the course of history, pretty much, I mean, damn near every single belief that human society has had becomes demonized at some point. And I'm obviously not condoning any of it, because as we move further and further through time, we progress and figure out that the less suffering you cause overall and the less hate you have overall makes things peaceful for everybody. But
Amen.
even now, if you go, we've talked about it on the show before, where if you go, let's say another 50 to 100 years in the future, where we're able to grow meat in a lab, they're going to look back at anybody who ever ate any type of non-lab grown meat, and they're going to look at us like we're fucking
We're
barbarians.
savages.
Yeah. So you go
Barbarians.
on a long enough
barbarians.
timeline.
Or destroy us. yeah, whatever you think, you know.
I mean, overall, on a long enough timeline, everybody's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But
Because standards change
By-
over time.
by our own
The
current
sands of time.
standards, John Wayne was kind of an asshole, and just so we can
Even
keep
in his
collecting
time period.
so we can keep collecting a paycheck, we're going to make John Wayne look like an asshole.
Even for his time period, he was kind of an asshole.
Could you imagine
During
what
his time
people
period,
now look like?
he was worshipped.
But I mean, even for his time, he was
How
still a
many
piece
times
of
has
shit.
Barbara Streisand been fucking divorced and re-fucking married, and we're supposed to act like Barbara Streisand is cool?
My dad built Barbara Streisand's house that she lives in now.
No
Ask
shit.
Ask
Really?
a 30-year-old why Barbara Streisand.
He worked with her directly for months.
Okay, Chuck, come here.
Meanest
Come here,
bitch
sit down
you
real
ever
quick.
saw.
I gotta ask you something. It's very important.
Sit
Ready?
down.
Why? You know who Barbara Streisand is?
Yeah, I know what Barbara Streisand.
Why is she famous?
Oh, that's
no
a lady on The View, right?
Exactly. Case closed.
Yeah.
People are famous because they've been around.
Wasn't
too
she
long.
in
She
like
tried to destroy.
Like Snoop Dogg.
Yentl or
People
something?
are just like,
What about
Snoop Dogg's
Justin-
awesome. It's
what
like,
about
why?
Justin Bieber?
It's because he's been around for 30
Explain the
years.
Streisand
What about
effect.
Justin Bieber, dude?
The Streisand effect?
Yeah, remember she tried to.
Yeah,
the-
but she doesn't want people taking pictures of her fucking house. It's like,
well,
But
yeah,
she
the
tried to, she
Streisand
tried
effect
to
is the more you
cancel
try to
somebody, right?
Like
No,
sands through the hourglass.
and
These are the
So are
days
the
of our
days of our
lives.
lives.
Yeah.
No, the Streisand effect is the more you try to hide something on the internet, the more prominent it's going to become.
Yeah.
Which
what
Beyonce
you do is you
learned.
show too many pictures of her house, and then people stop caring. That's,
Oh, yeah.
Or you say the wrong thing. You're like, Barbara Streisand lives at this address, and you give the wrong address, and people go, no, she lives at this address. That's the best way to figure out anything on the internet.
Actually,
is
no, that's a-
put the wrong information, and someone will give you the
That's
right
called,
information.
no, it's not Moore's Law.
You should know this because you're smarter than I am.
I would dispute that point, but there is
It's the cat in
a
the box thing.
specific there's a
I have
specific
an
law for that.
associate's degree that I don't use. You're way smarter than I am.
I have a high school equivalency degree.
I actually,
Thank you very much.
I actually got to take off because I have to wish a happy birthday to my niece right now, and we're going.
Loser.
Sean,
Pussy.
good to see you. She will never remember this. It's fine.
Sean, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. This isn't the end of the episode. Sean is just stepping out so he can
gotta
go
step
deal
out.
with
Get the
some,
fuck out of here.
some family matters.
Bye,
and I'm
Tim
not talking
Pool.
about the
Have fun getting swatted.
The comment podcast sucks, dude.
Hey, I'm on the Conmen
That is
Podcast.
not true. That
Joel's
is not
just
true.
jealous
That's a
because he's not on the show.
That's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you, man. Drive
Yeah,
safe.
Well, you'll see
drunk
me next
bastard.
week. Joel won't be here next week for the Conmen Podcast. It's going to be
Elamnesio is so much
Elamnesio.
better than Joel.
Just leave, dude.
Oh, fuck you, bro.
I'm just
Your
getting
beard
tired of the
sucks.
elbow drops.
High five to that. Okay.
I'll see you guys next week.
All right, be safe on that drive back to West Virginia.
You guys be safe in the snow, which probably won't happen.
You're the one going in it.
Well,
You know what, while,
I don't
uh,
know.
Get
I
out.
don't know what's
Get the fuck out of here.
While Sean
Nobody
is on
likes
his way
you.
home and Adam is taking a piss in the bathroom, why don't we go ahead and thank our sponsor for this episode, which is, once again, Ghostbed.
Go to bed. Yeah.
The Iconoblast podcast is presented by ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros. Ghostbed has been a loyal sponsor of the Drinkin' Bros for over 5 years now, and everyone here in the studio is in love with their mattresses and pillows. We actually have 2 viewers, well, my girlfriend and one of our friends, that are laying on the Ghostbed here in the studio right now, watching the show.
They're doing what those turkeys do right now. It's pretty weird.
It's called scissoring.
Yeah, they're scissoring on the ghost bed right
No,
now.
I
It's
think
pretty
the
weird.
technical term is tribitism.
Fuzzy bumping.
Fuzzy bumping, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the scientific term. Cloaca rubbies.
Rubbing cloacas.
Cloacal kiss. That's what they call it, a cloacal kiss. You can try a Ghostbed mattress for 101 nights, and if you're not completely satisfied, you can return it no questions asked. And if you're not completely satisfied on a Ghostbed, that's because your partner is not doing their job. Their mattresses and pillows have cooling technology to help you keep cool at night, which is especially helpful if you're like me and you're a natural furnace and your girlfriend constantly tries to get away from you when you're trying to snuggle and gets too hot. Oh man, I feel so lonely at night because I put off so much fucking heat and just continually move closer and closer, and she moves further and further away. I'm sure that it has to do something with the amount of heat that I put off and nothing to do with our relationship failing. You can buy a mattress for around $35 per month, and they have no money down, 0% financing plans. Ghostbed also offers bundles, so you can get everything you need in one convenient package. You just choose from their 4 mattresses and then pick their bundle. So whether you just need a mattress and a frame, or you want it all, like their cooling pillows and sheets, which, God willing, is going to save my relationship. Oh God, I hope it's going to save my relationship.
Those ghost bed pillows, dude. Start with the pillows
If there's
because they're cheaper.
if there's anything that's going to save my
They're great.
relationship, it's going to be Ghostbed. I mean, she just walked out of the room right now. I know she's mad at me. Regardless, you can always get the best bang for your buck. Right now, Ghostbed is offering a flash sale where you can get 40% off when you buy a mattress and adjustable base, or 30% off of everything when you use the promo code DrinkinBros. So head over to ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros to take advantage of all their awesome deals. That is ghostbed.com/DrinkinBros. Ghostbed. Sleep so good, it's scary. So, continuing the story of John Wayne, we're going to get back into... I actually have like a supercut of a bunch of the racially insensitive things that he said over the course of his career, which, by the way, for the listeners at home and the listeners in the YouTube live chat right now, by the way, Drinkin' Bros History channel on YouTube, tune in, and you can see just how much of a shit show this is. We're about to get into the drinking game portion of the show, I guess you could say.
We're just starting that part?
No, it's already been going,
in
but
so much trouble right
it's about to get a lot worse.
now. All right, I'm ready.
So, okay, well, all right. Just get ready for about 5 drinks. So a few other examples of John Wayne being a racist dick are as follows. He once compared slavery to a birth defect, and I quote, "I don't feel guilty about the fact that 5 or 10 generations ago these people were slaves. It's just a fact of life. Like the kid who gets infantile paralysis and has to wear braces so he can't play football with the rest of us." Cheers, everybody. Drink.
Drink for John.
What is that, 125 years?
Slavery's like a disabled kid with braces.
I think it would, from what I recall, the movie was 12 Years a Slave, so I think slavery only lasted 12 years. I don't know. I get all my information from pop culture.
Okay.
John once claimed minorities have it easier than white people, saying, quote, I think any black who can compete with a white today can get a better break than a white man. I wish they'd tell me where in the world they have it better than right here in America.
Is that you saying that or John Wayne?
Okay, that one's a little...
Maybe in film or in the Olympics.
Well, he did make some comments about film. It's not a political show, so I'm going to gloss over... Oh, yeah, I got a drink for that, too. Fuck.
You can save that for the Skeleton Factory podcast.
The Skeleton Factory is going to...
Where we completely dismantle third-wave feminism.
It's going to turn into
talk
an
about
episode
nothing
of...
else, really.
Turn into an episode of Bill O'Reilly when I'm on there. When asked if he believed there was a color barrier in Hollywood, John replied in the most John Wayne manner possible, saying, quote, okay, this one I think is fucked up. I've directed 2 pictures, and I gave blacks their proper position. I had a black slave in the Alamo.
Holy shit.
Another quote. There's no doubt that 10% of the population is black or colored or whatever they want to call themselves. They certainly aren't Caucasian. John Wayne's words, not mine.
Drink. For John. Not John Connor.
Yeah,
John
cheers. Here's to John Wayne.
No, you drink when it's bad on this show.
Oh.
And the final quote in this series, there isn't necessarily going to be 10% of the grips or sound men who are black, because more than likely, 10% haven't trained themselves for that type of work.
Train
Well,
themselves.
you don't train yourselves for work. You
Generally not.
usually.
For John.
John Connor.
I'll drink for John Connor. Moving right along, John's views on the plight of minorities earned him an invitation to be the running mate for a man named George Wallace. Anybody here familiar with George Wallace?
Negative.
Was he the fucking American fucking Nazi Party guy? No,
yeah.
that's George Lincoln Rockwell, right?
So for those who are unfamiliar with George Wallace, he was the 45th governor of Alabama and a massive dickbag. Wallace was a supporter of Jim Crow policies
How
and
big,
a
like the
staunch
size of a
opponent
barrel?
of desegregation.
I got my racist
Like a barrel
guys
size bag?
fucking-
Trash bag?
I'm
How
sorry.
big is the bag of dicks?
That's a deep cut right there.
How big?
That's a
Okay.
deep racist cut right there. George Lincoln Rockwell. That's a whole.
50-gallon bag. 50-gallon bag.
How big of a bag of dicks is Bill Cosby?
Oh, fuck.
Just so we can get a ratio
He's a
between
Leonard
the two.
7-inch.
How do you compare rape to racism? Like, what's the
Rapism.
What's
Well,
the
it's just-
what's the conversion ratio?
Just how big of a bag of dicks is Bill Cosby?
Bill Cosby?
50 gallons also? Around the same, probably.
Yeah, I'd say around the same. I mean,
I'm asking
they're
for a
all
friend.
fucking assholes.
50-gallon bag of dicks? This guy.
So George Wallace and Bill Cosby were both 50-gallon bags of dicks.
Yes, there we go. I'm going to pull that by itself.
So just to give an idea of George Wallace's views on race relations back when he was in politics, during his inauguration speech in 1963, inauguration for governor of Alabama, Wallace made his views on segregation clear when he said, and I quote, "In the name of the greatest people that have ever trod this earth, I draw a line in the dust and toss the gauntlet before the feet of tyranny and say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever."
Damn.
Which sounds,
So he's a 50-gallon bag of dicks, too.
yeah, which
that's
sounds
but
suspiciously
that-
like a lot of the policies
like-
that are being implemented in
Like
colleges.
Bill Maher.
And
No. You know what? In a way, that's a good thing because that's a guy who threw his shit out into the public. He's like, "This is what I'm fucking running on," and people are like, "Nah."
at least he's, okay,
that's- and
yeah,
that-
He,
and that's-
he was honest.
at least he's
That's
upfront
a good.
about it.
George Wallace is a good
still
example of
fucking,
the
though.
First Amendment because people will listen to it and be like, "Tell us your thing." That's your
Okay,
thing.
I'm gonna tell you.
All right, how about no?
I'm going to tell you in a big way.
Yeah, that's
Good for him.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that's
Seriously.
Great for him. Good.
like, oh,
God bless him.
that's exactly
What-
how the First Amendment
what-
should be
bless
ran.
him.
People
What-
would be like, David Duke ran for president in our lifetime. Just
Oh, yeah.
just so you know.
what George Wallace had to say, I do not agree with. But it's like who had that old quote, like, while I do not agree with what you say, I will defend to the death your right to say it. Mm-hmm. People should have the freedom to say whatever stupid shit they want to say, and then each individual person has the freedom to decide, like, no, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
ideas will beat out bad ideas.
Yeah, in the long run, that's communism is kind of getting a little bit more and
That's
more.
why we have the Second
prominent.
Amendment.
And that is where the Second Amendment comes into play. That reminds me of something else, which, once again, this isn't supposed to be a political show, but people think of America as a democracy, and it's not a democracy. It's a democratic republic. And the difference between a democracy and a democratic republic is a democracy is two wolves and a sheep debating over what they're going to have for lunch. And a democratic republic is two wolves and a sheep debating over what they're going to have for lunch, but the sheep has an assault rifle.
Amen.
Cheers to America. That's something I'll drink to every day.
That's why I toast racist, because I'm just like, hey, man, give it your best shot.
Good luck.
Usually doesn't work out, but give it your best shot, buddy.
Despite his larger-than-life appearance on screen, John Wayne was actually a mere mortal. A well-known chain smoker, he began smoking in his early 20s and eventually worked his way up to a 5-pack-a-day habit. So this is something that really shocked me, because I used to be a big-time chain smoker. 5 packs a day, that's 100 cigarettes in a day. Mm-hmm. Taking into account 8 hours spent sleeping, he would have to smoke a little over 6 cigarettes per hour for 16 hours each day to finish 5 packs. So he's pretty much the real-life version of that dude from the waiting room in Beetlejuice that is just a burnt-out
cigarette.
husk. Yeah.
Want a cigarette? Trying to cut back myself.
In 1964, he was diagnosed with lung cancer and underwent surgery to remove his entire left lung along with 2 of his ribs. And that's not the fun surgery that Marilyn
That's
Manson
what-
got. Where
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. I looked
Are you
into
sure?
it. It's not. At least according to the official story, it's not so he could suck his own dick. Officially.
Can you suck your own dick, Adam?
What's your definition of suck my own dick?
Can you at least touch your dick with your tongue?
Does it count if you can just kiss the tip?
Well, maybe, when you were younger.
with my mouth?
Yeah.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, me too, man.
Ooh.
Good job.
I'm proud
Yeah.
of you two.
And I'm not.
and I have
I'm not
sciatica,
flexible.
so it's
I was
not,
gonna say
it is not
can't-
like a smooth journey to get there. It's,
I can't touch my toes, but I can suck my own dick.
Okay, that is a fucking clip right there.
Why did you ask me that?
You
I
better-
thought this was
you
a history
better pull that
podcast,
fucking clip.
not the history of my bad back, my weird dick.
So John Wayne successfully beat cancer, but the ordeal left him weak and in poor health. Although not the cause of his eventual death, the smoking definitely didn't help. Just a fun fact, when he filmed True Grit, that was after he had one of his lungs removed. When he played like one of his most iconic roles, being Rooster Cogburn in True Grit, that was after he had one of his lungs removed, which
I like the remake better.
I do too.
I'll say it.
Fuck it. I will wholeheartedly put my support behind that.
They're both good though. I'm not gonna say that,
I mean, they're both good, but
but the new one was.
They're both good. Some remakes are really good.
Homeboy, G-Doc.
Lloyd Bridges.
Howard Hawks would have to admit that John Carpenter's The Thing is pretty fucking spectacular. And if he
Yeah.
doesn't, he's a cunt.
Wait,
Thing
so
was
is he the
great.
one that did the original,
Yes.
the Thing from Another World, or?
Yes.
Oh,
Did you see the new one?
The 2011 The Thing?
Yeah.
I did.
Dude, I was hammered and going to bed, and I'm like, oh, The Thing's on Amazon Prime. Perfect thing to go to sleep to. Give me some nightmares, and I love this movie. And then I was like, I don't remember this. And the whole time I was like, wait. And then I thought it was like, oh, this must be like a
when-
4K rendition of this. This must be like
No,
new
I
version
thought that
where
we had
they-
this conversation before about it was 2011,
Yeah.
the thing that
This just
they didn't
happened to me like 3 months
reveal
ago.
until the very end that it was actually a prequel because
prequel.
Yeah,
the,
it's the Norwegian
dog,
camp that's like
Oh, I turned it off after
literally
as
within
soon as
like
I
a
figured
day
it
or
out.
so before the original John Carpenter's thing.
Made it 10 minutes, and I was like, "Fuck you." And then
I mean,
turned it off.
I liked some of the effects, but
I liked it a lot. You know what? Here's a fucked up thing. And fucking, they actually
you.
filmed the entire movie practical, and then the studio was like, "We want to do everything computer." There's a bunch of footage of 2011.
actual
the thing,
practical effects from the
Psy-
2011 version.
psychotically fucking amazing, mind blowing practical effects, and they were just like, "Look, we live in the era of CG. We're not fucking doing the practical effects no more."
The
And
practical
there's
effects are
tons of
They
so
would've-
much.
they would've-
There's tons of
if
footage
they
of
would've
it,
left
and it
it-
looks amazing.
If they would have kept with that, it'd be a cult hit again.
Yeah.
I
They-
agree.
They fucked up.
I agree.
But that's the studio life, dude.
Yeah, and there's footage of them like the amount
Studio
of,
doesn't want to make money over time. They want to make 200 million right now.
yeah.
So they don't give a fuck about cult classics.
They don't believe in cult classics because they don't think that there's
That's
going to
not
be a
big
future.
money, but it makes sense.
They don't think
That's
there's going
not
to be
big
any money in,
Yeah.
in like physical media. They think everything is going to be fucking streaming until people decide like,
But they
No.
don't give a fuck about trickle money. They want the big money. It's
yeah,
that's
but
the
but,
business.
Instant
but the fact that
Yeah, that's the
everything
business
is
they're in.
everything is trickle money anyways.
It's becoming
It's
that.
like, hey, do you want to watch fucking Star Trek? You got to have fucking CBS all access or Netflix.
New Halo looks.
Oh, dude, you want to
Fucking
listen to
shitty,
Garth
dude.
Brooks? You need to sign up for Garth Brooks' own streaming
Hey,
platform.
you shut your mouth.
Yeah, and I think
No, I want to listen to
I heard
Garth
Neil
Brooks.
Young's joining that platform.
Oh, fuck Neil Young. Neil Young is
gonna
getting
be
I
that.
don't
Garth
listen to
Brooks-
Canadian
Garth
music.
Brooks and Neil Young are going to be on their own network.
It's
So-
the Canadian Music Network.
I can't swim.
You can't what?
I can't swim.
How old are you?
6.
John Wayne's poor health, combined with a diet of almost nothing but steak and booze, eventually led him to develop stomach cancer. Although enrolled in a cancer vaccine study in an attempt to ward off the disease, he ultimately died at the UCLA Medical Center on June 11th of 1979.
He ultimately
COVID.
decided to die.
He ultimately decided to die. He was buried in the Pacific View Memorial Park in Corona Del Mar, Newport Beach.
Coronavirus.
In the Coronavirus Del Mar, the Coronavirus Memorial Park of Newport Beach. In compliance with his wishes, his tombstone reads, Feo fuerte y formal, which translated to English means ugly, strong, and dignified. In 1999, a plaque was placed at his grave with the quotation, Tomorrow is the most important thing in life. Comes into us at midnight very clean. It's perfect when it arrives, and it puts itself in our hands. It hopes we've learned something from yesterday. But a more fitting epitaph for John Wayne would have been, fuck bitches, make money, and for God's sake, stop giving these darkies all these civil rights.
Oh God.
I'm going to drink again for that.
That was John Wayne's words, not mine. There's a strong chance that's going to be a clip that I regret. So that's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. You can join us next week, which is actually going to be a Valentine's Day episode, which is going to show you why Valentine's Day is probably one of the darkest holidays ever invented. It involves child slavery. It involves the greeting card industry, which is
Chocolate.
fucking cutthroat. And it involves a whole lot of other things.
A lot of
that are
rape.
just-
A lot of rape.
I mean,
Happens
that's-
on Valentine's Day.
a whole lot of breakups happen on Valentine's Day, too.
Yeah, a lot of breakups, a lot of stress. It's like Christmas, but with cum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Adam?
Which I'm... So, Adam, you want to plug your show real quick before we get out of here? Is this an episode of the podcast that you're going to be proud enough to plug your show on?
This is our worst show, for sure.
Oh,
I'm glad to be here for it.
Yeah,
That makes total sense to me.
except for
Uh,
the couple we've canceled.
Sure.
And reshot.
Skeleton Factory Podcast. You can find it on Instagram at skeleton_factory. And you can find me on all major... You can find me on all major podcasting websites. Is that the word that people use?
You can find Skeleton Factory on all major podcast platforms.
His voice makes it sound better. Skeleton Factory Podcast. If you want to hear everything you need to know about information about how to lead your life through the filter of cult film. Thank you.
You can follow Iconoblast Podcast on Instagram at Iconoblast Podcast. You can follow me at Coop Newcomb. You can follow Joel at Joel R. Benner. We always post updates about the show on pretty much all of our accounts.
Yep.
Also, tune in to the Drinkin' Bros History channel on YouTube if you want to see this shit show visually, which a lot of times it's very worth it to see actually what's going on. It makes everything make a little bit more sense. Mm-hmm. So next week we're going to be back with Valentine's Day episode, but for this week we are done. That's it for this episode of the Iconoblast Podcast. My name is Matt Cooper. That's Adam Hester. That is Joel R. Benner. And we are reminded to never take anything at face value.
Just Joel Benner.
Okay, that...
Not Yul Brenner.
Been saying it for like 60 episodes.
My name is Matt Cooper. That's Adam Hester. That's Joel
Benner.
I just can't get anything right. See you next week, everybody.